Welcome back to our chill playthrough of the Zenox in Distant Worlds 2. As you can see, it's a new day and there are twice as many kitties in our basket than there were previously. At the end of the last episode, we discovered that our closest independent colony was cats just like us, and because of that, they absolutely love us. I do think that it is important that we have a little conversation about a mistake that I made. A mistake that I made related to my episode 0, which probably isn't going to get that much viewer attention, but we'll talk about anyway. When I recorded that, I did it twice. The first time I did it actually ended up being better than the second time I did it. For that reason, when I posted episode 0, I actually posted the first recording. This creates some discrepancies that, if you've watched the episode, will be immediately apparent. Well, at least one of them will be immediately apparent. That discrepancy is, of course, that even though in that episode I'm clearly shown turning technology to blind and random, it's clearly not blind and random in the game. This isn't a big deal. The second is that anyone who got the idea to use the seed from that video to try to reproduce the galaxy that I'm in, it won't work because that is actually not the seed for this game. It's the seed for the game that I never actually played. As for the tech problem, I don't think it's a big enough issue to start over. In fact, by the time you see this video, probably the first episode will be posted, and at that point it will already be necessary. Well, of course, by the time you've seen it, but by the time I'm recording this, the first episode is nearly ready to post, and I don't want to have to redo the whole thing just to fix the problem of being able to see the text. There's also a strong argument that seeing the text is good for my first playthrough of this game on my channel because it will allow me to better explain why I'm taking text and show the direction that I intend to go in with them. The blind text is good for a person who's played the game a lot and something that I find exciting about the game, but for a first playthrough of a game that I don't have that much experience with, blind texts really aren't going to make that much difference. So, in a way, this is better because I think the open text, visible texts are better for learning, and it really doesn't make any difference whatsoever compared to the kind of gameplay I'm playing or the kind of things that are going to be presented. So, we're going to begin today with exploring a little bit. At the end of last episode, we just got our second drives, which allow us to explore the stars closest to our system. Our first circle, our go out and return fuel circle, is actually much bigger than I originally estimated it would be. There's a lot more stars inside of it, which is nice because it means we don't have to rush drives. We can just let our guys go and explore what's around them for a while. Swift Treasure, our personal ship, we're going to immediately send over to Selus, the other cat planet, and start exploring it right away while the other explorers continue to do the work they're already doing inside of our system. We just got research labs, which is good. Let's get rid of this menu. I don't know why I opened it. And we'll take a few minutes to talk about a few very small changes to our queue. We're going to take storage systems, which was not originally something we talked about in 0 episode. We're just going to take it because it will help to expand that exploration range of our explorer ships. We're going to move towards planetary governance in order to eventually get the galactic diplomacy. Planetary governance is a good tech on its own, and galactic diplomacy has a 5% all research and gives you more diplomacy. We're not going to go after this, though, for quite a while. We're going to go after it once we start finding other civilizations because it's not worth building until the 10 diplomacy matters. Planetary governance though, will help us on our first planet right away. The two of them together are very good for early colonies to keep them nicely controlled. Pretty confident that we'll be able to complete structured research after that, and that we'll get to the end of this queue without any difficulty. Whoops, sorry about that. And we can then transition probably into colonization. Once we get our basic colonization and colonize our neighbors, we should be able to start developing a fleet and killing any small threats that exist inside of our space. Between now and then, hopefully we can start to find some ice worlds that are at least worth considering. But because we have such a good start with same race independence, we will probably put colonization tech off for a lot longer than I normally would. Our second colony is pretty much already guaranteed to be a very good, strong colony. And if we're really lucky, it may actually begin breaking even right away. That has a very large amount of suitability and a population well suited to us, so it should start strong immediately. If our luck trend continues from last episode, we're probably going to get something really interesting and then something really bad soon. The one thing about putting off the tech for terraforming is that our planet is going to remain unrepaired for quite a while longer. So let's see, there is our two frozen moons. Those are probably not colonizable, but we'll prioritize them for our scans. If we're lucky, we'll find some fuel in the system, so we'll probably already also prioritize the gas giants for scans. So it's time to go back up to our preferred speed of ×2 and just let things play out for a bit. We have no real reason to build more colony or construction ships at this time. 5 should be plenty. They will have a lot of work to do, though, before any real big expansion takes place. There's no reason to pay for the maintenance cost on science ships that we're not immediately using. Though there is an argument that if our economy can take the science ships, we could push them in order to speed up our exploration and then push an equal number of construction ships to build the stations, the mining stations that they uncover. But at this point, with only a few hundred credits above going red, it's probably good to just let our economy cook for a while and then just watch and wait for new things to happen. Yes, that's a good choice. We'll definitely build that one. One of the things about this game that I really like is that it has a sort of chill, slow pace. It is possible to go faster. I mean, I'm running on ×4 for a bit for that very reason, but there's not a necessity that we do that. So our exploration ships are now starting to leave system on their own. They've picked what they think the best choices of nearby stars to check out are. Swift Treasure is working on this gas giant. Hopefully some of our exploration ship finds some fuel mining spots so that we can expand outwards. One of the things that's really good is fuel expanding. Fuel spots work as a way to expand the edges of your exploration zone because your ships will naturally refuel at them. They'll also refuel at other mining stations, but only if those mining stations are supplied, and oftentimes they will not be supplied for some time after they're built, depending on whether or not you have a really robust freighter system. This system has no planets that are probably going to be of any use to us. Our purple is starting to spread. It's very nice. This is a one planet system, and that planet is not really of any use to us. We'll definitely build that station. So now would probably be a good time to um, actually, no, we don't need to do the retrofit on our exploration ships until after we get the tech that we're working on right now, which is the improved fuel cells, because those improved fuel cells will... It's better to do multiple technologies in a single retrofit if you can. So let's look at this system. All right, there's a few planets here. That's nice. So far, we haven't found any of the parts of our story mission, nor have we found anything really of interest in our neighbor's system. They're building some neutral ships in order to do whatever it is they do. Oh, I can actually refuel on a neutral planet. I didn't know that. Although I think I did know it, like I think I suspected it, or that I saw it before. I can't remember. That's good. That means that this planet also will act as a frontier point for pushing our exploration out towards the galactic west. So our ships are continuing to explore. And it's just time to sit back and let the game play for a while. I like to check up on my exploration ships just to see the kinds of planets in the systems they're in. I won't usually take them off auto explore, but if I see something that looks like a really good possibility, like a planet that has a high chance of colonization, I might take them off auto just to put it at the top of their queue and then put them back on auto. We're getting a decent number of luxuries, which is good. Our economy is remaining stable, which is good. This is a good stable start. Just going to crash storage systems. Plenty of money in the bank in case we meet more pirates. $40 until it finishes its next scan push, and we learn about this frozen ice moon, which is most likely not going to be useful for anything, but could be. The possibility does exist. That probably could be running at ×4 right now, but there's not a lot of reason to speed this up. Our tech is keeping quite close to cap, which is good. It's not all the way up there, but at this point, there's not a lot that I can do actively to push that number higher. We do need to uncover more locations for mining bases in order for our economy to become stronger. But I don't think that I would do a better job of it than the explorers just scanning the systems themselves. Let's check this other gas giant in the hopes that it is a fuel base. We're already building the mining system there, the mining base there. Things are going well in the main colony. Not really much that we can interact with, though. These are naturally pushing themselves up without me bribing them whatsoever towards desiring to us to colonize them. I can't crash that yet, but there's no rush. It's a little ambitious going after the research academy this early, but I don't really see that there being enough much that can interfere with us with the level of economic stability that we have. I don't think we're going to meet anything in the next, oh, probably even 10 years that's going to make it so that we wish we had gone faster into colonization or weapons technology. So let's just check this list to see if there's anything that we think should be queued already that isn't. And a queue this probably. Is there anything better? There's a lot of really good steel percentages here, but none of them stand out as absolutely necessary. I probably should build this. Yeah, 3230 is a good queue. Put that up there. Don't think we've missed any research stations. Plus, as long as you have construction ships available, the computer seems very good at high prioritizing research stations. It almost never lets them go unbuilt. So we're just going to upgrade now because we have the fuel cells. So we're going to upgrade the fuel cells, and also we're going to upgrade to the advanced survey module, which will happen automatically. That's good. Might as well upgrade the fabricator for the better fuel cells. Also good. And that's really all we need to worry about. None of the technologies we've learned are really of any use to space stations. Space stations really only need one fuel cell because the actual work is being done by the energy collectors. Um, the fusion reactor is only there because it's required, so the fuel is only there because it's required. There's nothing in this little system here at all worthwhile. So we're just going to leave Swift Treasure to finish the system out. I don't think there's much point in selecting anything specifically with it anymore. I guess we could do that ice moon first. That technically counts as something that is of concern, although the likelihood that the likelihood of it being anything useful is so small. I think we'll just do a survey to finish up. Oh right, retrofit. So what are you doing? You're building a mining station. Not much traffic yet. Not much going on, but our economy is strong because we're holding almost all the money that comes in. There's not a lot we could spend it on. I suppose if this was a higher difficulty game, I should, again, like I said earlier, I should push exploration ships and construction ships so that my economy grows faster to keep my science closer to cap. But This is supposed to be a chill game, and we're going to keep it at a chill pace. In fact, I think that's going to be all for today. We'll pick this up again almost immediately in the next episode. I am very happy with how the people of Seleucia are reacting to us. We don't really need to bribe them at all. We can just continue to increase our agreements with them, and they will naturally hit 100%. In fact, they're probably going to naturally hit 100% long before we change to colonization. Maybe we'll consider a next episode whether or not we want to break up our ambitious queue and start colonizing. But until then, thank you for watching. And this has been my chill Distant Worlds 2 play as the Zenox Technocracy.